I had made this declaration that I'd written off women. I said I'm going to be just like Paul from the Bible. I'm going to be Paul.
I stalked him on Facebook.
She did.
I did not know his last name, but I just typed in Paul.
So I learned a lot about her as early as I could, and I saw communication is going to be very key, right? And I knew she had a tendency to shy away from conflict,
Yeah.
and I lean into conflict.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, so communication is something that we'll need to value.
Like he's consistent. His love has been consistent. So I've never had a day where I wake up and ask him, babe, do you still love me? Like his love has been consistent. Hi, my name is Natasha Mukamba.
Hello, my name is Paul Mukamba.
So our story is very interesting, and we love to tell it. But there's like two versions of it. So I'm gonna start with my version. So here we are. It was 2018, and I was doing ministry in Kafue. I was doing some mission work and some youth work in Kafue. And so I had a friend of mine, Eddie. He always claims that he's the person that put us together. So I was doing some youth ministry and I had some kids there. He's a good photographer. So he came by and took pictures of them. So he went back to Lusaka, and I am like military, let's get this done. So he was taking his time with the pictures. And I was like, Eddie, I need my pictures. I'm coming to Lusaka on Saturday. They better be ready. So I was like, okay, cool, they'll be ready. So I come to Lusaka on a Saturday morning, and he makes me wait at East Park Mall. And by the time it was like mid-afternoon, he shows up with someone. So in my state, I am really upset. I am so upset. And so I'm not even seeing that he's come with someone. I just want to get the pictures. It's getting late. And I need to get back on a bus and go. So he's like, no, let's sit at Food Lovers. And he got us some smoothies. It was smoothies, eh? Yeah. So he gets us smoothies and we sit at the table. And it was funny because this other guy kept talking to me. Like he kept just chatting me up. And I was really upset, so I wasn't even noticing that there's a guy here. And as we sit, our friend pulls out his laptop and starts editing the photos. I'm like, okay, now I'm really upset. But this guy kept talking to me. So I was like, you know what? Let me just sit. I'm sure he knows what he's doing. So I start drinking my smoothie. I'm drinking my smoothie, and something funny happened. You know that thing where you're sitting and, you know, it drips on your hand or it drips on the cup and you just want to lick it. That's the point I was at. So there I was about to lick it, and I catch myself. I'm like, Natasha, you are in public. Don't do that. So in me catching myself, I laugh And then when I look up, I see this guy staring at me. And I'm like, hey, there's actually a dude here. There's like, he's actually good looking. He's actually a dude. There's actually a dude sitting, and the whole time he had been talking to me and everything. So it does get better, but I think you should tell your part of the story.
Yeah. So the story of how we met starts before the day we met, as I tell it. Right. So funny enough, just before we met, I had made this declaration that I'd written off women. I said, I'm going to be just like Paul from the Bible. I'm going to be poor. The life of celibacy and all of that. Right? So I was determined, and a number of the guys told me, a number of my mentors, my big brothers, they laughed at me and they said I had no idea what I was talking about. But just that as a backdrop. So in my season of ministry, and I'm done with this gender, I'm hanging with my friend Eddie. We had common interests. We went way back, right? We were rappers together back in the day, but we were serving together. So I'm just waiting for him. And we were getting ready to go to Chungu's concert. We were going to serve, yes. So that's what was on the agenda. I'm just going to stay with Eddie until it's time for us to go to the concert, which we're serving together at. In the middle of our killing time, he says, bro, let's go to East Park. We'll wait from there. He says nothing to me of the agenda, right? When we get there, he comes and we right after Grey Matter, right? Yeah, right after Grey Matter, we meet this model-looking chick. I'm like, hey, hello, who is this? Right? Because I see her, she's got the model physique and everything. I'm like, hi, how are you? And she's solid, just stone wall. And I'm like, hey, is there a stone in her shoe or something? What's going on? Right? So it kept feeling like that, but we went. So I'm watching Eddie. I'm trying to not give it away that I am in the dark here, but I can see what is happening. It starts to unfold for me, right? We order our smoothies. We're food lovers at the time. And he pulls out his laptop and I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to run interference. He's, because I knew Eddie. I'm like, he had a task, he hasn't done it. And so he's called me to keep her busy while he completes his task. So he starts to edit the photos and I'm like, oh. Mm-hmm. But it was easy because I'm like, talk. I can talk. So I'm keeping her company. And it's just, again, stone wall. And I'm like, oi, she's a bit of a snob, right?
Yeah, he did say I was a bit of a snob that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's how it was going until she spilt some of her smoothie. And I'm like, is she going to lick it? So I'm watching intently. I'm like, is she going to do this? Yeah. And from there, our eyes locked, and I think it's like it was a light bulb moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So shortly after that, I started to pay attention to what he was saying. I realized that we're both in Bible college doing our bachelor's in theology at separate colleges. Just our interest in everything. So I started to pay attention. And he was in youth ministry at the time, and I was in youth ministry as well. So we had a lot to talk about in that moment. But the moment that changed everything is when we had someone else join the table, and he's a great friend now. He came through, and before he could sit and join, because he had food and he wanted to join the table, before he sat down, this guy over here pats the guy and says, hey, and he points directly at me. He says, she doesn't know this yet, but she's going to have my last name. And I start to laugh, right? And in the middle of my laughing, I had a check in my spirit, a check from the Holy Spirit. And he was like, and I know people get checks differently, but for me, he was like, why are you laughing? He's right. Have you ever stopped laughing midway? And I know it must have looked ridiculous, but I got that. And I think I excused myself from the table, something like that. But he did not get my number that day. I don't know what was up with that. But yeah, they walked me to the bus station and I got home safe. But stuff was happening on his end. And for me, that day was like, I had like in that season, I had come to a place where I was just content to be myself. Like I had finally come to a place where I was comfortable in my own skin. Like I knew who I was. And like I had that, I was at that place where I was like, God, you will bring my man, but right now I am enjoying my life. I am thriving where I am. So it wasn't, I went home saying, you know what, Lord, you gave me that check, but you make it in your own time. Yeah.
Yeah.
You make it happen in your own time.
So it was interesting to hear her perspective of how that went down, because it happened exactly as she says it did, right? I remember there was a big fuzzy blue bag on the chair where my friend was going to sit. I moved it. And then I very confidently went. She doesn't know it. So she's telling the truth, yes. She doesn't know it yet, but she's going to. I never done anything like that before or since, yeah. This is my one wife. So I did say that. And I don't know if it was a word of knowledge. I don't know what it was. But I did say that. And he sits down and everyone is laughing. And she stopped and I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know what to make of it.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't know what to make of it. And also, bearing in mind, I had just written off women. All right. So I'm like, hey, where is this coming from? But we hit it off, and she checked without me looking in the conversation. She checked many of the boxes. I'm like, oh, we're in ministry. We have similar interests and so on and so forth. And so when she stopped laughing and she walked away, I thought, oh, whatever was going on,
Yeah.
I may have messed it up, but I still have that front on and thinking, yeah, we'll keep it going. But no, I didn't get a number or any of that. So
he was actually planning to join the army as a chaplain and just live a life of celibacy. So he was going that way. And so the thing is, like, after that happened, because I was doing ministry in Kafue, so I would bring a number of my friends, a number of mentors, pastors, just to come and pour into their lives. So at this point, I'd kind of reached a brick wall, and I was looking, I was like, wait, I met that guy at the Food Lovers. Might be my husband, we don't know, but let me just see if he's available for this spot so he can come and talk to the kids. So he had not gotten my number, and I did not, because I thought that situation was a bit awkward. I didn't want to go to our mutual friend and say, hey, can you give me his number? Because it would have been like, you want to hit on my guy and stuff like that. So I stalked him on Facebook.
she did.
I did not know his last name, but I just typed in Paul, and it was amazing how many mutual friends we had. We had so many mutual friends that his name just popped up on top of the list. I was like, hey, this is the guy. So I went into his inbox, and because of that, he says that I made the first move, but I did not make the first move. But yeah, so I went into his inbox and was like, hey, remember that program I talked, this is me from the last time we met. Would you like to come and talk to the kids about this and whatnot? Just minister to the children here and whatnot. Yeah, so it took a while, a few hours. I noticed that he wasn't much of a social media person. his Facebook was a museum. So I waited a few hours for him to just get on. And then instead of just telling me yes or no, I'm available, he just goes like, I'm not usually here. Here's my number. WhatsApp me and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I went to his WhatsApp. I did not get through to him. Like because I'm like, I need to get this done by this date. I need you. Are you available? And all of that. So I don't know if he thought that my many text messages were me saying, probably he thought that I was in pursuit of that. That was what I was thinking. So after the many times that I had done that, I realized maybe he thinks that I'm chasing him. So I was like, you know what, we don't do that here. So I shut it down. I was like, you know what, Lloyd, I'm a bit confused that you gave me the check, but this is happening. But in your own time, you'll make this. If this is you, you'll make it happen. So I shut that down and went about my business, just went about doing what it is that I was doing in that season. And yeah.
Yeah. So, yes, I remember that. But for me, it was unfolding a bit differently in my mind, because at this point, I'm thinking I'm going to join the defense forces. I'm going to be a chaplain or something. I got rid of my
He had
locks.
like locks. He had
got rid of my locks. I'm in pursuit of that, but and I'm having discussions with my mentors and so on and so forth. Right? If I said his names, you'd know him. So the pastor at the time, initially he gave me the green light. He said, oh yeah, if that's the path you're pursuing, I think you should go for it. But then suddenly he was singing a different tune. He was like, I don't think, I'm getting the sense that this isn't the right move. So I'm like, everything's in line. I'm thinking this is where it's supposed to be. And also my big brothers and uncles and mentors, they were also redirecting me. So I'm dealing with all of this. And she reaches out and I'm trying to make moves in there, but then she continues to reach out, and it's not on purpose. I'm normally a one person. That's my superpower. She says but for me, it's one thing at a time, all right? So I was juggling with that, and it fell through the cracks. But then there was one day she posted something that caught my attention, and now I think the Lord has softened my heart enough to get me to come around again. ZNS, I don't remember which wing exactly, is off the table. It's off the table. I'm not pursuing that anymore. And it wasn't even the ministry that caught my eye anymore. It was something that she said. It was a throwaway line, or one of the memes. She said, my superpower...
It was a meme.
My superpower is I'm a pastor's wife.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, and then, I don't know, epiphany, light bulb, boom.
Yeah. And then he texted, he's like, after such a long time, he just texts, I don't think there's even a hi or anything. It's just like, it's true. So I posted the meme, as he said, of this woman wearing a t-shirt saying, my superpower is a pastor's wife. So he texts and says, is this true? I'm like, hey, this guy, you're not even saying hi. But that was the day, I think that was like morning. From that time when he texted that, we've been talking since. We were just talking about everything, and like that moment itself was just testament. It just told us, okay, you've arrived. Like, you can start this journey. And I think the next day was when he started this word game where he would say, for example, a cow is, and then I would finish. So I would say a cow is, and I'll say food, and then it'd be my turn to say.
It's a word game.
Yeah, it was a word
Just
game.
Finish.
So
sentence.
He said Paul is, and then I don't remember what I said, but I think I said a man of God. And then it was my turn, so I was like, Natasha is, and then he said my girlfriend. and and that's how we started. That's how we started dating. Yeah, it was long distance though, but yeah.
Yeah. And we don't play. We don't play. A funny story.
So the thing is, we started dating. Was that May? Was it June?
Thereabout.
Yeah, thereabout. And from the very get-go, he had, it's like we sat, in fact, our very first date wasn't like, roses and all of that. It was like a business meeting, which I loved. It was like a business meeting that said, you know what, I'm serious about you, and I'm not here to play any games. The intention of this is because I want to marry you. So we knew even from the get-go that, but it didn't take long for you to do that.
So when did we put a ring on it? I smile. I laugh because she actually rejected the first few rings I gave her.
I did.
Okay, so
I did.
So long story.
I can explain.
Long story. She didn't reject the proposition. She rejected the manner of the proposal. Yes. So it was interesting.
Rings. Okay. So
it was romantic.
It was.
No, keep going.
Okay, you brought the rings. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, so he brought he. Okay, it was okay. Now it's kind of cute, but he kind of made this little, like he made it wasn't a real ring, but it was.
Yeah. Okay.
He made.
Okay, so what I
he
did.
made rings. And then you brought them. Yes. And then you brought them.
Okay, so this is the 2 times I mentioned. I remember them. I was almost scared, but I knew. So so I thought it would be romantic if I left her a number of notes, and the combination being something she found, right? So I would have a note, and I tried to plan it that they weren't easy to find. So there were a number of notes left in her living area, in her space. And we were in Chikankata. She keeps saying Kafue. We were in Chikankata. We were not in Osaga.
Yeah, they changed.
It was Chikankata anyway. So so there were a number of... I'd leave them in her space and then hid them really well. And I crafted a ring, makeshift. We're in Chikankata, and we know where we're going, right? So I made a ring and I hid it. She found it and she said, "No, not like this." Yeah. The first word. Yeah, I was like, okay. But then I didn't learn. I just made a better one. Something makeshift. I'd be like, yeah, for when the time comes, yeah. I'll replace it. And we had agreed that was our path. We knew that's where we were going. Yeah. She wouldn't wear my...
I wasn't, yeah. But we do have them. We have them somewhere. Also, I come from a traditional family, so there's a procedure that wanted some things to be done. So the real ring eventually came. But after he actually just came through to my family with his uncles and yeah.
So I would say just over a year. Yeah. Just over a year. Mm-hmm. Yeah. After we took the plates and after we approached the parents, then the ring.
Yeah. That was like days after plates, the ring. Yeah. Wedding preps, we got married after a year, right? Mm-hmm. That was a year. It was during COVID, so we had 2 wedding anniversaries. So the first one was the civil one we did in 2020. He married me on my birthday, so it was I'm a stress-free girl. All right. So if I could, which I did, if I could do without the whole shebang, the whole fluffy dresses and everything, I'm a very simple, chilled, like I just, yeah. So it wasn't very stressful because we went to the court and did the legal, because it was during COVID. So I just had like a nice white dress, and I think some of the stress came when it was after COVID, and family decided to just throw something bigger. But still, I preferred to wear like a traditional wedding gown, wedding dress. Yeah, a stress-free girl, so there wasn't much stress there. Yeah.
5 years.
5 years. 5 years this year. What has kept our love strong? Oof.
Some of the things that she was making fun of me for doing were very helpful. Yes. So we identified, okay, she was right. It was very much like a business transaction. So we identified a lot of our strengths.
Business deal.
A business deal?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, very much like a business deal. So I think my training in ministry was helpful for us. So we identified a lot from her background, a lot from my background, because we tend to be like the models we have. So we were very aware of a number of patterns, and we were very aware of what we wanted to build, and we identified. So we had a mission, we had a vision and a mission really early in our relationship, and we've been using that.
Maybe I can tell that story. So like the first date, papers came out from his end, and I really appreciate that he did that. And what was on the papers was Myers-Briggs personality test. Like, yes, we're in this, but what are we getting into? Who is this person that is on the other side? So we had personality tests on our first date. We're munching on apples, we're munching on food and everything, and we're busy doing what are you like, what's your temperament, and all of that. So we were very deliberate about that. I think third dates in, he brought out, and he's been an intentional man. He's been very consistent on that. He brought out the mission. He had like written out a vision and mission for our relationship and marriage and everything, and he brought that out. So he's been like intentionality for us keeps us together. Like, we're very intentional about things. Like you said, we are aware of each other and our temperaments. We're deliberate. 5 years in with 3 little boys, and still going strong. It requires, intentionality and being deliberate about, how you just love on each other. So, yeah.
So very much aware and intentional. We defined our values and we live by those, right? So I learned a lot about her as early as I could, and I saw communication is going to be very key, right? And I knew she had a tendency to shy away from conflict, and I lean into conflict. And so we're like, okay, so communication is something that we'll need to value. Right? So I had this list of all these things, and we've been trying. Not that it's been easy. I'm not picnic. I know this with all the planning and everything. But we try to be very intentional about day to day, not just the romantic moments. Right. So we do also try and be intentional about the romantic moments.
Date night.
Yeah.
Wow, the lesson that I've learned is that that love is actually a beautiful thing. Marriage is a beautiful thing. I've learned that it's possible. I've learned that it's actually possible. I know with the statistics that we have, it's people get discouraged to enter into it, but I've learned that, especially when you walk into it with God. I know we usually just put him aside, but I've learned that God is actually the glue that keeps you together. So if you put him out, you're literally just putting your marriage out there. Yeah, and also I've learned that your partner is not the problem. He's not the what's the word? He's not the enemy. I know that yes, we have differences and all of that, but I learned early on that we're a team. We're one. We're a team. So if something isn't working the way I want to, I'd have to, just think about it for a minute and say, okay, what is causing my partner to do this? And then try and see it from his point of view. And sometimes I'm like, he's right. He's right. Maybe I am doing a little bit more shopping than I should be, or yeah.
Just the way things happened, right? It revealed, firstly, God is Jireh, right? Because everything fell into place with her. And I feel like he's set things up. He's intentional in our life. He's been intentional, and he's been a big part of our journey. And I've learned how to forgive and how God loves, and through our relationship, I've learned I'm a flawed human being. And in that, I get to learn how God is loving, how God is forgiving, because I'm in covenant with earth, the same way God says he's in covenant with us. Yeah. And so I've just learned the extent, to a greater extent, just how much God loves us. Mm-hmm.
He is solid. He is solid gold. He is the man I met. The words that he said, I keep seeing them every day. Like, he has continued to show up. He's been consistent, going over and beyond. I appreciate that, that I have someone that is always, like, he's consistent. His love has been consistent. So I've never had a day where I wake up and ask him, babe, do you still love me? Like, his love has been consistent.
Just how godly she is. It's helpful. It's extremely helpful. I love how godly she is. Her relationship with God has made me want to pursue that or lean into it a bit more, right? Maybe I'm a bit too harsh with the kids, and she'll pull me back. But the way she does it is really with grace and all of that. And I don't think she would have that if she didn't have the relationship she has with God. And so I really appreciate that she's godly.
Oh.
Yeah, I do.
Yes. Yes, we do. We really do. Do we fight? Sometimes. There's a story that he's sitting on, and I've been warning him to say, if you're not going to finish this work and put it out there, I'm going to do it because it's gold. Yeah. He's actually my editor, and I'm his editor. His birthday is the 29th of February, but we celebrate on the 28th, when the 29th
Happy birthday
is not.
to me. It's the 18th of March. Yes.
Yes. Yes, we are. We are. I wasn't always until I joined him. His side of the family is quite big on birthdays. They throw parties and everything. So yeah, it's rubbed off.
I would say find help, seek help. Don't deny the problem exists. Yeah, don't deny the problem exists. Find someone godly couple, someone that you trust, someone that's not going to put your business out there, right? So it has emphasis on someone godly, right? Someone that can help you through it. It's just like Proverbs says, someone looking for his own device. I'm paraphrasing, yes, but get help.
Remember why you started the journey. I think most of the times and it gets crazy because the years go on, people evolve and become different and all of that. But it's good to remember why you started the journey in the first place. Try and be intentional about your love as well. And I always say this, he said get help, which is very important. Also, don't forget God in the equation. I think problems start when we think we can do it in our own strength and just leave God out of the picture. I think I've seen God do the impossible, and I believe your marriage, if you really, really, really want it to work, I think if you put God into the picture, he's got a way of turning things around. So, yeah. My name is Natasha.
My name is Paul.
We're the Mukambas, and this is how we met.